Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, dears, and welcome to Super Coaching by UPSC. Super Coaching for UPSC by Textbook. And today we meet here to discuss one of the very important topic of Indian economy, that is food processing. So let's connect little fast. And I am your economy mentor, Pradeep. So let's start our today's session. So as we always that starts the session, that in the starting we discussed that how we are going to proceed with this session. So in that regard, let me tell you that in what manner we are going to proceed with this session. So first of all, we will discuss that what is food processing. After that, we will discuss that what is the significance of food processing industry. After that, we will discuss that what are the challenges before the food processing industry in India. After that, we will discuss that what measures government has taken in regard to sort out those challenges. And after that, we will discuss that way forward, that what should be done in order to make it more effective. So this is going to be the flow chart in order to our today's session. So let's start our today's session. So first we will try to understand it in layman words. So what is the meaning of food processing? First of all, we are going to understand that thing, that food processing is nothing but transforming the core foods. Food processing refers to transforming the core food uh, core food into new goods and enhancing its shelf life. What does it mean? Let me tell you that what happened and what we do under the food processing. So when we talk about the food processing, so first we are going to discuss that what is the definition of food processing. So first, in order to understand the definition, let me define it. So what happened? Suppose this is a raw material and it is suppose this is wheat. Wheat is there. So that means this is input. This is input. This is input, and there is something is going to be output. Suppose there is going to be chips. Okay, potato chips. Potato chips. Okay, so this is suppose this is the potato chips. So what is going to be with this? That means we are going to do the processing. We are going to do the processing on that means potato, not wheat. It is not wheat, it is potato. Okay, suppose it is potato, and on this potato we are going to do the processing and we are going to make the potato chips. Okay, that whole process is known as food processing. So what we are doing under the food processing, that means we are converting or transforming the raw material into a new product and try to enhance the life of that product. Okay, so what is the purpose? That thing is that we are supposed to make the new product, at the same time we try to enhance the shelf life of the product. That's why there is need to have the food processing. So what is going to be, you people must be aware about that gems, you must be aware about the sauce, you must be aware about the that means artificial this juice. Okay, you people must be aware about the real juice, you people must be aware about the butter. Okay, you people must be aware about the jam, you people must be aware about the sauce. Okay, you must be aware about the uncle chips or potato chips in general. So what is going to be that what it is? It is nothing but the items of food processing only. That means the raw material, be the case of that the fruits, like we talk about the real juice. In case of, suppose we talk about the good morning dear Solia Sahil, good morning. Good morning, I am fine, how are you? Suppose we talk about the real juice. Okay, so that means we are consuming the real juice. So that means this real juice is going to be going to be how it is going to be made. That means first there is fruits, so that is nothing but raw material. That raw material fruits are going to be processed. These fruits are going to be processed, and that means they are going to through the primary processing and secondary processing. We will discuss it, and finally the final product is going to be produced. That is nothing but real juice. So that means when we are going to do processing of fruits, we are going to convert it into real juice. So how we are going to do this? That is nothing but that means fruits are going through the primary processing, and fruits are going through the secondary processing, and through the primary processing and secondary processing, we are converting the raw material, that is nothing but fruits, into real juice. So this real juice is nothing but food, processed food. Okay, this is nothing but processed food. Okay, and how it is being prepared? It is being prepared by processing the primary raw material. That raw material is nothing but vegetable, that is nothing but fruits. Okay, similarly when we produce the that is potato chips. So that means what is primary product here? Raw material. The raw material here is the potato. Potato is going to be processed. Okay, they are going to be processed in primary processed. They are going through the secondary process, and then only it is going to be converted into uncle chips or the potato chips. Okay, so what is potato chips? Potato chips is nothing but food processed food. Okay, so our topic is the processed food only. So first I try to define it, that what is the meaning of the processed food. Processed food meaning is that transforming the raw material or food item into a new one, new goods. And why we are transforming it? Just to enhance its shelf life. Okay, like when we talk about the tomato, like suppose take the example of tomato. Okay, that means if we are not going to use tomato up to a certain period, it may be 2 days or it may be 3 days, so that means that is going to be rotten. So that means in order to increase, in order to make it more valuable, or in order to make it increase its shelf life, we are going to process it. Okay, and we are going to through the process of the tomato, by doing the primary process on tomato, by doing the secondary process in tomato, what we are going to convert? We are going to convert it into tomato sauce. Okay, so that means the life of tomato sauce is going to be more in comparison to the life of tomato. So what is going to be, what is the purpose of food processing? The purpose is that means just to make new product which is edible, which is having more nutrients, which is having, and just to increase its shelf life. Okay, so that's why we do it. We just to increase the nutrients in the product and to make it new edible product, and not only this, just to increase its shelf life, just to increase the product's shelf life. So that is nothing, the process which is done, that is known as food processing. That is known as food processing, and we try to understand it with an example. Suppose that uncle chips is nothing but processed food, and how it is processed? It is processed through the potato. Similarly, tomato sauce. So tomato sauce is nothing but a processed food. Okay, how it is processed? That means there is primary process on the tomato, and there is also the secondary process on tomato, and after that we are going to get the final product, that is known as tomato sauce. So why we did it? We did it because the tomato life is, in order to increase the shelf life of tomato. Not only this, because it is going to rotten after a particular period of time. But when we are going to convert the tomato into tomato sauce through the processing, that means the life of tomato sauce is more in comparison to tomato. It may be 6 months, it may be 1 year, whatever it may be. Okay, and not only this, this is going to have more that means nutrients as well. It is going to have that means we are going to make a value addition, that is going to create the employment, lot many things. Okay, so we are going to discuss that thing. First we try to understand it. Potato chips is general. Okay, that uncle chips is just the example of potato chips. Okay, that means there is lot many chips na, that Lays are there, there is uncle chips is there, lot many. Okay, so that means potato chips is in general. All types of chips are nothing but potato chips only. Okay, that means the brand of particular. Okay, that is nothing but uncle chips. Okay, I am not promoting here uncle chips, don't worry. The thing is, I just want to give you an example. Okay, the Lays is also a potato. Okay, potato chips. Okay, and in that the Lays are with different brand names, na. Okay, similarly that potato chips are also with different brand names. Okay, I think it is clear. So what is, now let me tell you that what is the meaning, then we will discuss. Let me tell you that what is processed food, or what refers to food processing. Food processing refers to the transformation of core food into new goods, okay, new goods, and that, and why, just to enhance its shelf life. Okay, and how we do it? By doing the primary processing and by doing the secondary processing. Okay, that means we do the primary processing on raw material, after that we do the secondary processing on that primary processing, and we got the new product, and that new product is more edible. That means it has more nutrients, it has more nutritious value, not only it has the more life, okay, self life. That's why that is known as food processing. That is known as food processing. Good morning Shankar, good morning Ravi Shankar. So this is okay. So that means in order to have the food processing, there is tertiary processing as well. Okay, that means the food. There is 3 stages of processing. One is primary processing, the other is secondary processing. Nowadays there is another processing as well, that is known as tertiary processing. So we will try to understand that one by one. Okay, so that means in order to convert a core food into new item or new goods that is having more nutritious value, that is having more nutrients, that is having that enhance its shelf life, that means we have to go through, the product has to go through, or the raw material has to go through 3 processes, that is known as primary processing, that is secondary processing, or tertiary processing. Okay, generally primary and secondary, and nowadays there is tertiary processing as well. Okay, so what is the meaning of primary processing? The meaning of primary processing is just like that, just to do the that means the things in primary level, like just to sorting, just to grading. That means there is raw material, but we are just going to have the grading of raw material. That means we are going to identify the good grade raw material with that means that is not very good. Okay, that means we are going to differentiate the raw material of good grade with the raw material which is not of good quality. Okay, second is we are going to have the sorting, same thing. We are going to have the packaging, we are going to have the that freezing, we are going to have the pasteurization. That all are nothing but primary, that comes under the primary stage. Okay, that means not too much value addition. In the primary processing there is not too much processing. Okay, that means the nutritious value, the chemical properties, the physical property of the product is going to be shaped. In the primary processing, the physical property, the chemical property, the nutrients value of the product is going to be shaped. Okay, there is no, the properties are not going to change. Okay, that means like we are going to not too much value addition. Although we are doing the value addition, we are going to identify the good good quality product with the product which is not of good quality. Not only this, we are going to do the freezing as well, we are going to do the pasteurization as well. Like wheat product is there, wheat is there. So that means from wheat we want to make the cake, okay, this cake is nothing but suppose processed food. So what we are going to do? Milling of wheat is nothing but primary processing, and after that milling, that means we are going to make the wheat flour. Wheat flour is just a primary processing, and with this wheat flour we are going to make add some ingredient, and we are in position to make the cake. So this cake is nothing, that means adding ingredients in the let me suppose we took example of wheat, okay, and wheat is a raw material, okay, and we want to create a cake. Suppose cake is a processed food, okay. So that means wheat is going to through the primary processing. Under the primary processing, what we are going to do, we are going to do the grading, we are going to do the sorting. So that means we are going to identify the good quality of wheat, okay. So in the primary processing, not only this, what we are going to do, we are going to do the milling of wheat, and through the milling we are going to make the wheat flour, okay, we are going to make wheat flour. So this that grading, sorting and milling is nothing but the primary processing. That is going to include the primary processing. That means the quality, physical quality of the wheat is not going to change. The nutritious value of wheat is not going to change. The chemical property of wheat is not going to change. So under the primary processing, although we do the value addition, but through that value addition, there is no change in the physical property, in the chemical property, in the nutritious value of the raw material. In the secondary, that means this wheat flow, okay, whatever it is, okay, this is going to through the secondary processing. In the secondary processing, we are going to make a cake, and for making cake we are making going to have the new ingredients, and that is going to change the chemical property of wheat, that is going to change the physical property of wheat, that is going to change the economic value of wheat, okay. That is nothing but we are going to make a cake, that is nothing but secondary processing. So that means that is nothing but secondary processing. Similarly, when we talk about the tomato, okay, when we talk about the tomato is nothing but that means a vegetable or agriculture produce, that is raw material. So in order to increase its shelf life, or in order to make it processed food, that is nothing but sauce, we are going to do the in the primary processing, we are going to do the sorting, we are going to do the grading, and we are going to that means other things, that is not going to change the chemical property, that is not going to change the physical property of tomato. And after that we are going to make some ingredient in order to make a sauce, that is going to change its chemical property, that is going to change its physical property, and that is going to make make it more valuable, that means that is going to change its economic value, okay. So that is nothing but food processing. So in order to have the food processing, always the product went through two stages, one is primary processing and second is secondary processing. So that means that is the thing that I want to explain for you people, that till now we only defined the food processing. So what is food processing? Let me remind it once again. What is food processing? Food processing refers to transforming food items into a new goods and enhancing its shelf life, okay. And how we do it? We do it through primary processing and through secondary processing. Primary processing means just to do little value addition that does not change its physical property and its chemical property. And secondary the processing involves that mixing the ingredients and making a new product which change its chemical property as well as physical property, and that makes it more edible, that makes more nutritious, okay. That's why it increases the value, economic value as well, okay. So that is about the food processing, that is the meaning of food processing. Okay, now we are going to discuss that what is the significance of food processing. What is the significance of food processing industry? Now we are going to focus on significance. What is the significance? And as I always do, that the significance we are going to discuss with some datas, okay, with some datas, that what is significance in regard to employment, what is significance in regard to for investment, what is significance in regard to that means GDP, what is significance in regard to farmers. Okay, so that means on all these things we are going to discuss under the significance. So when we talk about the significance, that means it has the great potential, that that Dalwai committee, that means the committee which was constituted by the government to make recommendation for doubling the income of the farmers. That committee recommended, that the committee is known as Dalwai committee. That committee recommended that in order to double the income of the farmers, the food processing industry is going to play the most important role. Okay, and that's why, because it has the great potential, it has the great potential, it has the great potential. That's why in order to doubling the income of the farmers, that means it is going to play the most important role. That's why the Prime Minister that categorized it as a sunrise industry. So it is sunrise industry, meaning the sunrise industry meaning is it has the great potential, it has great potential, and in that regard only we are going to discuss its significance. In that regard only we are going to discuss its significance. So what are the great significance? The meaning of significance is, my dear, how it is important, in what manner it is important. Is it okay? Significance means how it is important, in what manner it is important. Okay? So now let me talk. So that means when we talk about the food processing, that means it is the fifth largest sector of the country, and it contributes 13% in GDP growth. Okay, be very clear. It is fifth largest sector of the country's economy, fifth largest sector. Okay, and it contributes 13% in the annual GDP growth. Okay, that food processing industry is the fifth largest contributor, or fifth largest that means contributor in the economy, and it contributes 13% in GDP growth. Okay, from 2022, from 2022, it created 3.85 lakh jobs. It already created 3.85 lakh jobs from 2019 to 2020. Okay, into 3 years. Okay, and 2023, that means from that 23 to 24, it is expected that it will create 4 lakh another. Okay, 4 lakh another jobs. Okay, it is expected that up to 2024 it will create 9 million jobs. 9 million jobs. Okay, first of all we discuss the significance in terms of the contribution in GDP. That means it is fifth largest sector of the economy, or fifth largest sector. So not only this, it contributes 13% in GDP growth, okay, annually. And not only this, not only this, when we talk about the employment, sorry, when we talk about the employment, it already given 3.8 lakh people employment. Okay, from 2019 to 2022. In just 3 years, it already given that means 3.85 lakh jobs, and it is expected that in the next 2 years it will provide another 4 lakh jobs. Not only another 4 lakh jobs, it is the statement of the ministry that it will provide 9 lakh jobs up to 2024. Total 9 lakh jobs. Okay, so that means it is going to be the that means great contributor to reduce unemployment in India. That's why it is sunrise industry. That's why it is sunrise industry. Not only this, when we talk about the sectoral growth, that means that it is annually, compound annual growth rate is 11%. 11%. Okay, that means there is almost, in our case, the economy is growing almost up to 7% or 7% on average. Okay, on average 7%, but this industry is growing at the rate of 11%. Okay, that means growth rate in this industry is more than the national average growth rate. And it is expected that it will this accounts for 32% of the total food industry. Okay, whatever total food industry is there, that means it accounts for 32% contribution, food processing industry. Okay, not only this, when we talk about the FDI, that it has received, that means from 2000 to 2023, it has received $12.345 billion foreign investment or FDI, and which is 1.89% of total FDI. Whatever total FDI we have received, that is 1.85% is being received in food processing industry. Food processing industry. And when we talk about the total, when we talk about the total, it is 12.354 billion. Okay, that means 12.354 billion has been received, and in percentage it is 1.89% of total foreign investment. That's why it is considered as sunrise industry. Not only this, when we talk about the exports, we can say that we are exporting to 100 plus countries. That processed food items we are exporting to 100 plus countries. That includes Middle East, Southeast Asia, SAARC countries, EU, even US. Okay, and in other general terms, we can say that it is instrumental for enhancing the farmer's income, because what is going to be that it is related to the agriculture item, food processing, agriculture item. So that means industry is going to be near to the farmer's field. Okay, so that they are going to have the direct contact with the farmer in order to have the raw material, because these industries are going to use the raw material as a agriculture produce. They are going to use the raw material, agriculture produce as a raw material. It may be tomato, it may be potato, it may be pumpkin, it may be whatever it may be. Okay, so that means agriculture produce is going to be used as a raw material. So it is going to increase the farmer's income. They are going to produce different type of crops. That's why it is also instrumental for crop diversification, which will increase the fertility of soil. Not only this, since it will also reduce the rural urban migration, that migration from rural areas to urban areas, because these industries are going to be set up at in the village, or at that place at which there can be shortage of raw material. So the raw material can easily be that means reach to these industry if they are going to be established at not in tier 1 or tier 2 city, at least tier 3 or village level. So that means the individuals belonging to different villages, they can get the employment opportunity in nearby to their areas. That is going to take care of the rural urban migration. Not only this, it is going to take care of the over urbanization. It is going to take care of the lot many environmental issues. Since this processed food is having the more nutritious value and nutrients, that's why it is going to take the that means going to reduce the malnutrition, that is known as hidden hunger. That is going to take care of hidden hunger. it is going to increase the employment, it is going to increase the that means technology, advancement of technology. Okay. So let me summarize the significance once again. That means it is important contributor for the GDP growth. That means it contribute 13% in GDP growth. That's why it is the fifth largest sector. Not only this, when we talk about the employment, it has already given 3.85 lakh people employment from 2019 to 2022, and it is expected that they will create more 4 lakh employment opportunities in next 2 years, and it is expected that altogether it will create 9 lakh jobs up to 2024. Not only this, when we talk about the growth rate, that means the average national growth rate is 7%, we can say that 7% or 8%, but when we talk about the growth rate in the food processing sector, it is 11%. So that means the growth rate in the that food processing sector is even more than the national average. We are the highest growing economy, and this sector is something which is going to grow more than the national average. Not only this, when we talk about the foreign investment, that it is receiving the foreign investment, because there is 100% foreign investment. 100% foreign investment is allowed automatic route, through automatic route. So that means, and it is a very important step, and that's why it has received $12.354 billion of foreign investment, and most of them is FDI form, foreign direct investment, that is going to create the more employment opportunities, that is going to create the better market strategy, better entrepreneurial skill, better technology, etc. We have discussed that advantages of FDI. Not only this, when we talk about that and other that means significance, we can say that it is going to increase the farmers' income, and this was the committee recommendation, Dalwai committee recommendation, which was constituted for the to give recommendation for doubling the farmers' income. And the most important recommendation was, they said that the food processing sector is the sector which is going to be most important for doubling the income of the farmers, because this industry or this food processing industry is going to use raw material which is agriculture produce. So they are going to get the raw material for their industry from the farmers only. So they can give them the lucrative contracts in order to produce their raw material. They can be in direct contact or the direct contract with farmers. That is known as contract farming. That is going to give the surety to the farmers' income. Not only surety, that is going to give them that resistance to the fluctuation in the prices of the agriculture produce. Not only this, the farmers are going to make that means crop diversification. Okay, in order to, that means sometimes they are not only going to produce rice and wheat, they are going to produce potato, they are going to produce tomato, they are going to produce pumpkin, whatever is the need of the industry. So that means there is going to be crop diversification. When there is going to be crop diversification, it is going to increase the fertility of the soil. Not only this, it is going to reduce the rural-urban migration, that migration from rural areas to urban areas, because the individuals are going to get the employment opportunity to their nearby areas only. They need not to settle down in urban areas in order to get employment or in search of employment opportunity, because these industries are going to be established in the village areas, because they are going to use that they can. Okay, So these are not only this is going to take care of the environment as well. So that means we are going to adopt the new technology as well. So these are the most important things, or most important significance of food processing industry, and that's why it has the great potential. It has the great potential for taking care of the macroeconomic problems in India. That's why it is known as sunrise industry. That's why it is known as sunrise industry. Sunrise industry means it is new one. It is not that much developed as others are developed, but it has more potential. Okay, now we are going to proceed further and we are going to discuss that what are the challenges. What are the challenges of food processing industries? What challenges they face? We are going to discuss those things. So when we talk about the challenges, we are going to discuss the challenges at farm level, that at the farmer level, what are the challenges for the food processing industry. Then we will discuss that at the distribution level, that means industry level, what are the problems, and at the retail level, that is final consumer, what is the problems or what are the challenges for the consumer level. Okay, we are going to discuss. That means there can be we are going to discuss the entire supply chain. The supply chain is going to include the raw material, that is the farm produce. It is going to include the procurement, storage, transportation, etc. It is going to include primary processing. It is going to include secondary processing, and then it is going to include the retail. Okay, so we are going to discuss that what are the problems at farm level. Okay, what are the problems at industry level, what are the problems at consumer level, and what are the challenges and how we resolve those challenges, try to resolve. Then we will discuss that what need to be done. Okay, that means although we have taken steps, but what can be done in order to improve those things. Okay, that is nothing but way forward. So when we talk about the farm level, that means there is low yield and the inadequate quality of food produce. That means because why there is low yield? There is low yield because the productivity is low. The productivity is low. And why there is low productivity? Because over fertilization, because of salinization. Okay, and why it is? Because of monocropping. Monocropping means, what is the meaning of monocropping? That means we are producing one type of crop only, wheat and rice only. Okay, that means the soil is going to lose the fertility. If the fertility is going to be lost, that means productivity is going to lost. Not only this, and in order to increase the production, we are using fertilizers like anything. Okay, and that is going to make it that is going to further going to reduce the fertility. Okay, not only this, because of irrigation, water logging, there is salinization, which is further going to decrease the fertility, and because of there is low yield. And when productivity will not be good, then that means food for forest produce will, agriculture produce or food produce will also be not that much good. Okay, second, when we talk about that is the conventional method of farming. Okay, that means they are using not modern methods of farming. Like when we talk about the irrigation only, they are using flood irrigation. They are not very that open to the new methods, that may be drip irrigation or micro irrigation, that may be drip irrigation or sprinkle irrigation for the cultivation as well, for harvesting as well. They are not using new techniques most of the time. They are relying on the traditional practices only because of lack of funds. Because in order to adopt new technology, they need to make investment, and they do not have the investment capacity. So that is the case, the conventional method, I think. And still the rain is farming is still 60% farming or agriculture is still dependent on the farmer, that rain fed. They are rain fed. They are still dependent on rain. Okay, and rain is erratic. We discussed it many times. Okay, so that means there is not the surety of the agriculture produce. Not only this, there is lack of proper logistics. Okay, like logistics, we can say that there is not proper warehousing facility. Okay, we can say that there is lack of cold storage as well. Okay, which can increase the life of the farm produce, especially vegetables and fruit items. Not only this, when we talk unaffordable modernization, I already discussed that they lack the investment, and that in order to adopt the new technology, they need to make the investment. Second thing, that high advertising cost. Okay. Third thing, we can improper grading and sorting. Okay, that means the farmer product is going to be sold out with the same quality. Okay, that means there is no that means differentiation between the good quality and not that much good quality. So they are not going to get the better prices for their good quality product. Good morning, Durgesh Palji. But you are very late. I think, have you joined right now? It is too much late, dear. From tomorrow onwards, please be on time, dears. I request you, all the pupils, to be on time. Our class starts at 8:30. Okay, I start sharply at 8:30 only. So I will request you people to join it at 8:30 itself. Please, dears, be serious regarding your preparation. Okay, because this is not just an exam just to that means just to earn money or just as a career. This is service to the nation. Through this exam, you are going to do the service to the nation. And in order to do the service, first of all, you have to be disciplined. Na? You have to be accountable. You have to be honest. This is not about the career. This is about the service to the nation. And for that, discipline is most important. Okay, we are not here to make lectures. Okay, so the thing is, that is the farm level, problems of farm level. Okay, now we are going to discuss that what are the problems at industry level. Okay, so I will request be on time. This is the time, so be on time. So distribution level, what are the problems at distribution level? That means what are the problems at the industry level? Okay, that means high cost of modern transportation facility. That means what is going to be that, as I said, that most of the food processing industry are going to use raw material, farmers produce raw material, and there is not the proper that connectivity from the farmers field to the market, or from the farmers field to the industry. Okay, so that means they are going to when they are going to have the transportation, it is going to cost the industry a lot, because there is lack of proper connectivity from the field of farmer to the industry. That's why we are making a mega food parks, and we are trying to make sure that all the facilities should be there in the mega food parks only, just to reduce all these cost of logistics. Okay, not only this, when we talk about that means there is high cost of cold chains. Okay, because the government is not having that means proper, although we already discussed that state warehouse that authority and central warehouse authority, when we were discussing about agriculture. Okay, but and government try to encourage the private investment also for making, for stabilizing or for making, for constructing cold storage and warehouses, but still there is lack of cold storage and warehouses. Okay, so that means, and in order to make the in order to do the process, okay, that means process cannot be done in 1 day or 2 day. Okay, there is need to have the that warehouse facility and cold storage facility, and it costs them a lot because they are going to take the facility from the private individuals. If they make it in their plant, it is going to cost them a lot. Okay, so this is the case. Next, inadequate information and technology, communication support, high cost of packaging. Okay, why there is high cost of packaging? Because there is not the proper grading and sorting of the farmers' produce. So in the primary stage, when we do the primary processing, it costs high. It costs high because they have to make here the grading and sorting. Okay, limited market support, lack of government support, poor coordination. This is very important. We already discussed. That's why we have made the contract farming, the provision of contract farming. Now the farmers can make direct contact with the industries, but it is not very popular. Okay, so these are the problems of distribution level, or these are the problems of industry, or challenge, not problems but challenges of the industries. Now we are going to discuss that what are the challenges at consumer level. Okay, that means consumer, first of all, consumer is not having awareness about the, too much awareness about the food, processed food. Okay, although that means we have the great demand, not demand, we have the great market because we have large population, and most of the pupils are that means nowadays they are involved in business activities, so they do not have the time to make food. Okay, so they prefer to do use the processed food, to consume processed food. Okay, but there is mentality that it is not good, lack of awareness. Okay, even that means there is saying that people used to say, and this is true also, that fresh vegetable, fresh fruits juice is better than the real juice. Okay, although real juice is the processed food, it should have the more nutrients, but the thing is, that means it has the more sweet component, which is not good for the health. So that means, and it is because of improper regulation, we will discuss. Okay, so the thing is, lack of awareness among the people. Okay, lack of standardization and quality processed food, as I said. Okay, that real juice, quality of real juice should be better because it is processed, but it is not the case. Why? Because of standardization and quality of the processed food. Okay, next, conventional food habit. The Indian population has the conventional food habit, but it is considered to be that up to 2050 or 2060, that 50% or more than 50% population will stay in urban areas. If they will stay in urban areas, that means they will not have the time to make food. Okay, not too much time to make food. Okay, in that condition they will use the processed food only. Okay, that's why it is considered to be the great potential. Okay, now we are going to proceed further, and we are going to discuss that what measures government has taken. Okay, and there is lot many measures. Okay, I mentioned few. Okay, that and the thing is 100% FDI is permitted in food processing industry. There is 100% FDI. Okay, and that is also through the automatic route. Automatic route means there is no need to take any permission. They can come, they can invest, because it is sunrise industry. It has the great potential, and it is going to take care of the disguised unemployment. Okay, this is also significant, because in the farming or in the agriculture there is disguised unemployment, meaning they seems to be in the production process but they are not involved in the, so that means they can be removed from the agriculture practices and they can be involved in the industries, food processing industry. So this is 100% FDI is allowed. Other is Prime Minister Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, and under this scheme only there is lot many schemes. Okay, under this schemes only there is lot many schemes. Okay, and that means this is the scheme related to infrastructure, to develop the infrastructure, be the infrastructure at farm level, be the infrastructure at industry level, or be the infrastructure at consumer level. Okay, other measures: formation of micro food processing enterprises. Okay, that means the promotion for the industries, for the food processing industries. Processed food sector production linked incentive scheme. Government is running processed food sector production linked incentive scheme. Production incentive scheme is there, and it is also related to the food processing. Okay, there is Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana as well. Okay, in order to increase the food processing of the seafoods, government is running the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. There is Nivesh Bandhu scheme as well. There is mega food parks. This is under this scheme only. Okay, a scheme for establishing a mega food parks. And in the next slide I am showing to, that means how many mega food parks in different parts of the country. Okay, there is a scheme for creation and expansion of the that processing and preservative capacity. A scheme for creation of backward and forward linkages. Okay, backward linkages means at farm level. Okay, constructing that means a proper connectivity from the farmers, and there is provision that when there will be FDI, at least, okay, 30% FDI should be in forward or backward linkages. Forward or backward linkage. Okay, forward linkages, backward linkages means in construction of road, in construction of cold storage, in construction of the proper management. Okay, scientific management of the processed food or that raw material. That is backward linkage, and it is mandatory that if you want to have the investment, at least 30% investment should be in backward linkages. So that means there is a scheme for the that means for creation backward and forward linkage. Forward linkage means creating a market, that means advertisement, creating awareness among the that means consumers. Okay, and there is also the scheme for cold chain, value addition, and preservation infrastructure. Okay, so these are the all the schemes, and under this schemes only there is more than 10 schemes. Government is running more than 10 schemes. Okay, so it is not feasible to discuss all. Okay, I am just giving you introduction that these are the schemes. Okay, if there is any doubt, you can ask me regarding these schemes in Telegram group. Okay, now when we talk about the mega food parks, I want to give you an idea of mega food parks in different parts of India. Okay, that means they are either proposed or they are already working. Okay, so these are the important mega food parks in India. Okay, and mega food parks means that means in case of India there is, in the case of food processing, there is small players. Okay, micro level. Okay, that means there is not big players in the food processing industry. And when there is small players, that means what is going to be, they cannot adopt the economies of scale, and we already discussed that what is the meaning of economies of scale. Since they cannot adopt economies of scale, they cannot be efficient as MNCs are. That's why government want to make the big players. Government want to run big players. Okay, and for that the government is coming for the mega food parks. That means big food parks. That means they are going to have all the facility regarding the food processing in particular area itself. That is the meaning of mega food parks. And why it is? Just to have the benefits of economies of scale. Because in case of India, there is that means that in food processing industry there is small players. Okay, at a small level. That means there is not a, there is production, there is processing, but at micro level. And they cannot achieve the economies of scale because they cannot construct the cold storage, they cannot produce the quality food. That's why in order to adopt the efficiency or economies of scale, we are constructing mega food parks. That is going to solve lot many problems. That means it will be instrumental for increasing the farmers' income. It will be instrumental for taking care of disguised unemployment. It will be instrumental for reducing rural-urban migration, etc. It will be instrumental for diversification of crop diversification. It will be instrumental for environmental problems as well. So this is about the mega food park. Now we are going to proceed further, and we are going to discuss that what policy, what should be done way forward to make it more effective. To make it more effective, what should be done? So when we talk about that means there should be at one time there should be policy initiative to check the supply side and infrastructure bottlenecks. Okay, that means policy initiative to check supply side issues as well as infrastructure bottlenecks. We already discussed supply side means at the farmers level or infrastructure, cold storage and warehouse. Okay, so there is need to have the backward linkage, means there is need to make the proper connectivity from the field of farmer to the industry, and that's why we are constructing a mega food parks, and we allow the 100% FDI, but there is condition that you have to invest at least 30% in the backward linkages. That means it is going to be the responsibility of MNC to construct the road connectivity from the field of farmer to the industry, because government has the constraints of finance. Okay, and why they are interested? They are interested because we are big market. Okay, at least population has some advantage, na? Sometimes at least. At the same time, we have demographic dividend. Okay, that means the cost of labor is cheap. So they are going to produce at cheaper cost. That is going to increase their competitiveness of the product. Okay, so that means they are interested, at the same time it is their benefit, at the same time it is win-win situation for both. Okay, so that is backward linkage, and there should be private participation. That means government is encouraging the private partnership as well through the PPP model. Okay, that means there will be technology upgradation, that technology upgradation at the farm level. Okay, as well as there should be the technology upgradation at the industry level. And we already discussed, that's why government is coming with mega food parks. Okay, that means now whatever we are doing food processing, it is being done by the small players at individual level. They cannot adopt the economies of scale, which cannot increase their efficiency. Okay, so that is the technology. Institutional credit. Okay, that means government need to make need to ensure that there should be institutional credit facility for the farmers as well as for the industry, and that's why the government has come with the scheme 49. Okay, devoted portal was there for the MSMEs, we have discussed. Within 59, the MSMEs are entitled to get the funds by registering on that portal. At the same time, that government is also giving the farmers that under the priority sector lending, and they are giving 3% interest subsidy as well. So institutional, but there is need to have the more penetration of this facility. Okay, there is lack of penetration. The schemes are there, but they are not penetrated. Okay, so that is, and other things, awareness and capacity building. Okay, there is need to have the regulatory structure. We already discussed, there is lack of regulatory structure, because of there is not, quality is not assured. Okay, at the same time there should be, for establishing or constructing a food park or food industry, there should be single window clearance. There should not be bureaucratic delay, red tape is. Not only this, that means we discussed that there should be a single window clearance, and other thing, human resource development to meet the demand for skilled manpower. Okay, and for that that there should be professional courses at the university level or graduation level. Okay, and there should be joint collaboration between the private and the government. Okay, through all these measures we can make it more effective, so that we can take the advantage of potential of sunrise industries in the form of food processing industry. And this is all about our today's session. If there is any doubt, let me know, otherwise we stop here. If there is any doubt, let me know. And thank you very much, dears. And this is my email ID. Sorry, not email ID. This is my Telegram ID. Telegram ID. You can join it and you will get lot many benefits. Thank you very much. If there is any doubt, let me know. Otherwise, we stop here. We stop here. Thank you very much, dears. Thanks a lot.